But let's go through, guys. Why is golf so hard? Why do you think it's such a hard game? You keep score, but how about this? Okay, you go play with your buddies. You tee off, Justin. Tee time's at 8 o'clock. When's the next time you hit a driver? Let's say you flush one down number one. When do you hit your second driver? Maybe number two. Maybe number two is a par three. So maybe 13 minutes later, assuming it's a par 4 or 5, you hit another driver. Maybe number 2 is a par 3. Maybe you don't hit a driver for 25 minutes. When's the next time? So you tee off at 8 o'clock. When do you hit your second shot? Hopefully not at 8 o'clock in 20 seconds, because then you topped it. But maybe, right? Maybe, right? Maybe your second shot is 8:04. And then you got to go hit a chip at 8:07. Then you hit a couple putts at 8:09. You finish the first hole at 8:10. Okay, so I'm just kind of walking you through this. And then you go at 8:12, you get to the second tee, then you hit another driver. So what's the difference between golf and what we do here in this training situation? You get to rake and hit. You get to kind of get a feel based on a previous shot. That kind of has a, you got this kind of remnant of the feeling you had moments ago, which is nice for development and starting to kind of pattern something. But golf is tricky because the whole event of golf, guys, 1 minute. That's all it takes. So I'm going to hit a shot. So this shot, from takeaway to touch, here is basically barely over 1 second. Okay, so there's a ball in the air. There's 1 second. When we play golf, we do that 35, 40 times. There's 40 seconds. That's it. Now you add in putts and chips and so forth, and you get 4 or 5 minutes. You okay, buddy?
Oh, I'm just getting sunglasses.
Okay. You get a brief moment of time. Now, what is golf really? Golf is a social thing where we get in a car, we talk to our friends. Oh, and then guess what? We have to have a performance. We have to get out. We do a little thinking. Okay, how far do we have to hit this? What club do I choose? We hit a shot purposely in the rough on that par 5 from 113 yards. And kind of like this is a bit of a missed Mo strip. We hit a shot out of the rough, first out of the short grass, just to describe the fact that hitting out of the rough is more interesting because you're going to touch some grass before you touch the ball. That grass is basically a little bag of water. That lubricates the face. It changes how the reaction is between the ball and the face. Okay, and you're going to get a lot more information than you bargained for in this camp to help you make better decisions when you go play golf. Okay, so golf is tricky because it's not something where you just do it rapid fire. We hit a shot, we have moments. We can check our phone, we can talk to our friends, we can, look at the beautiful trees, whatever it is, and then 5 minutes later we hit another shot. See where we're going with this? Okay.
Take photos.
Okay, or take photos. Now, I want to help you a couple of ways in this camp. Coach Garrett and I, Coach G and I are going to help you with an opportunity for your technical development. There's going to be something everybody can improve on. Walk-in routine, setup, maybe how the wrists and the arms behave. That's a common thing. We're going to identify that. But the thing that is going to make you really good, okay, and this is a big thing for you, Darcy, because honestly, if I had you on a clock watch, it took way too long for you to kind of get set up and hit it.
I think.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think a lot too, but here's where you're going to do a lot of the thinking. So hitting a shot, and this is where people go, man, I got too many things in my mind. Okay, here's where I have a lot of things in my mind. I don't necessarily have a lot of things in my mind when I hit a golf ball, but maybe in the coaching situation, and coach, make sure the camera's okay. In the coaching situation, you will be working on wrist conditions, arms rotation, what's going on with how your body is storing energy to unload that to hopefully hit a golf ball far with some reliability. Okay, and a lot of that, like if that golf ball's in the fairway, and I've got a 9 iron and it's 100 and whatever it is at this altitude, 155 or 60, some up here, ball goes pretty far. And if I am hitting that shot, I might be very mindful of the elements I'm working on. But then there's a point where I just kind of go, and it becomes just kind of me and the target and the possibility of the outcome. Now the routine pieces, guys, that are so vital. You know, we'll use a stick for a little while to kind of help us and help me set the camera up to give you better videos and help you have a normal pattern of where you're hitting balls. So when we record you, you see a framing that's kind of pleasing for you, and you won't be all over the video screen. But when I'm walking in to hit a shot, guys, you know, I've kind of let go of the technique. You're not going to let go of the technique today. You're going to, you know, grab onto it and work your tail off to get it right. But when I'm walking in, I've checked a box. It's done. Now, as I'm walking in, I'm kind of staring at my intermediate target, which is ahead of the ball. If I can pair my hands, there, I've checked a box. Guys, I want you to think of the golf swing as building the house before you build the foundation. When you build a house, what do? You make the foundation first. Okay, you put in the, you know, whatever you need to have this sturdy house on top of this solid foundation. I want you to think of golf as the other way around, because I see a lot of newer golfers, okay, they'll come into a golf ball and they'll kind of get in this visual representation and go, okay, that looks about right. And you'll see a lot of this stuff or whatever you see. But the better you get, you'll realize that these are magic and these have to be magic. Now the good news is they are. These are magic, okay? They have to get on the club nicely. They have to behave a little bit, because if they don't, you'll have a compensation for it that you may not like. Okay, Wendell's here. He understands that from last year. So as I'm walking into a shot, guys, I'm checking boxes. Okay, my left hand's on nicely. My face is square relative to where I want my arm. We'll help you with this. And we're going to do something called the Rockettes. The Rockettes is awesome. So, Coach, why don't you do the verbal version of the Rockettes? You be the coach, and I'm the student.
That's a new one. This is roles reverse this time.
Yeah, so come closer so they actually hear you on my mic. So you're Martin.
Yeah, so give me a couple primer swings. Just kind of feeling what he wants to feel in there. One more. Turn, face your target. Pair a nice lead left hand to the club. Walk in. Set the face.
Set the face?
Well, pair, okay.
Okay, rookie, come on.
Okay. He's testing me. Look at this. He's testing me. All right, walk in. Pair your hands. Set the face. Take a look. Set your feet. Take a look. And hit it in 1, 2, 3. And then hold it nice.
Okay.
And when he finished, what did you guys notice? I mean, is he on his left side?
Holster.
His lead side?
He's on his front foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that last little bit you did there?
The holster.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The holster.
tune into this again. He did pretty well. He didn't know I was going to call him up. He's my youngest coach, and we're kind of grooming him to be a badass coach. And he is. He's awesome. Presentation-wise, I give him a C. Okay? No, I'm just being candid here. Because if I'm not a hard boss on him, I'm not making the best coach possible.
He wants to hear anyway.
You know it, okay? So just take half a step that way. Perfect, thanks, pal. So we're going to do this, guys, and you're going to see, because I had to do this when I was a little kid, and George Knutson was my coach. There's like 10 or 12 kids showed up in the range. You know, the same kids. Some were playing a tournament, some weren't, but we'd be there. And he'd say, okay, take some kind of primer swings or practice swing. We call it primer swing. Stand on your target line, take a look. Walk into the shot, pair your hands. Get perpendicular to the golf ball. Tip over, aim the face, take a look. Set the feet, waggle, waggle. Take a look. 3, 2, 1, go. Rebound, holster. So when you see that, like, all you guys will all be doing that, and the golf balls will come off like a. They'll all leave the face at the same time. Some will go farther, obviously. Okay, so you smash it. You know, you probably hit it pretty far once we're done with you. You guys hit it nicely. Okay, so we can have a great walk-in routine. If we have a great walk-in routine, that's kind of where the shot starts, guys. We have a moment where we work on technique and we're thoughtful of technique. And I'm not asking you to go to the range and hit 1,000,000 golf balls after the camp at all. I'm asking you to check in with me a little bit on your app. We'll show you how to do that. Wendell's good at it. You laugh, but why are you laughing?
Oh, it's awesome.
I love it. Okay? Keeps me...
Like a pain in the ass.
No, you're not a pain in the ass. I joke. Everybody's a pain in the ass. Yeah. Right? No, I love it. I'm glad you check in. I wish you'd have checked in more often, okay? So, what you guys, like, you have, like, going around here, I just played with you guys, a ton of upside to play really good golf. A ton. but it's wildly out of control. Okay? Darcy, we have to work on your cadence of routine walking into the golf ball. It's going to be way more up-tempo. It's not going to be as thoughtful. Right. Okay? It doesn't have to be. It has to be a bit more automated and athletic. Okay? So I saw your swings. I liked your drive off the first hole. I generally like your swing. I think your grip leads to an open face that leads to compensations, okay? But not by much. I like the way you put your hands on the club. You put your hands on nicely. You put your hands on nicely. I like your golf swings. I think you came a long way from last year. We're going to just continue the development of it. Now, guys, when we start to introduce like a mild grip change, okay, Mark, you're going to be doing that back here because I don't want you thinking about it where? Over there. Okay, we're going to grip the golf club back here. And you were going to say, yep, that's what the coaches are looking for. That's more like it. And maybe you take a little practice swing. And then you still have that. You've got that done. It's checked. You have certainty it's in there. So when you walk in, we're walking, pairing the hands. What's this little motion called, guys? A waggle. Why is a waggle critical? It helps you relax. Amen. Helps you kind of register the weight of the club in your hands so your body's going to perform in a second. Also, guess what? We don't get to stand on flat ground all the time, do we? The ball can be below our feet, above our feet, all kinds of funny places. The ball could be in a tee up here, which would be fine. The ball could be right there. And then I could find a radius to this ball. Would it make sense for me to walk in? Here's an example. So here's this really high tee. Okay? And you just got to imagine the ball's kind of maybe right there. Because this could be, we could have a funky slope and a ball could be sitting there, couldn't it? Okay? We've all been there.
Just last week.
Now people are saying, oh, you got to choke way down. I'm like, I don't want to choke way down and make this thing teeny weeny with no energy in it. I want to hold it sort of at the end, okay, where I always hold it, where I'm always used to the weight of it. So I'm going to find my radius to what I'm about to hit. Now, obviously, where's that loft going to make the ball go? To the left. Because even though the leading edge is vertical and it only is aiming straight when it's kind of at the soles of my feet, the more I move it up and arc away from me, the more the loft starts to gradually point more and more to the left. So then if I was going to hit this shot would really be going toward those trees once I made contact. But you notice how I got a radius, guys? There's a radius. So I find a radius to the tip of that stick. I'm building the house. Then I'm setting the foundation. Then I'm adding in a bit of rhythm of footwork to the ground, and from there I can move and, potentially hit a shot wherever it is. And that's a unique thing that really defines a golfer from being, I'm going to say, the 15 handicap to the 8 handicap. Like, that's the big step. Like, because you played college golf. Like, you played as a kid. You developed skills you didn't even know you were developing. Okay? And it become kind of second nature. Maybe a good coach inspired you to do a few different things. That's awesome. As adults, we're not kids. We're not playful anymore, sadly. We're going to teach you how to practice in kind of a playful mindset, breaking it up into thirds. Technique, playful, and a test. I call it 3 T's. Technique, trickery, and a test. Because I want a 30-minute practice session to be 10 minutes of suffering. Okay, suffering meaning, okay, I don't really like doing this, but I know it's good for me. Okay, I like all green vegetables now. When I was a little kid, I didn't. Okay, a section in the middle that's playful. Hey, watch this. Hey, watch this. Okay, seriously. Look at how low I can hit this 5-iron. Look at how high I can. Look at how much I can curve this left to right or right to left. Hey, watch this. And then finally, a test. I'm not leaving until I hit that bent pine tree 5 times. Okay? So I'm like, oh, okay, that bent pine tree down there. I'm going to hit that thing. Not leaving until I hit it 5 times. Okay? So maybe there's one. Maybe it's got to get up. Oh, there's one. Okay, so maybe it's a quick test and it's over. Way to go. But give yourself a test and go, hey, I did it. Then you're done. Okay? So what we're going to do, guys, Coach Garrett's going to kind of walk you through the cornerstone, which is what you said about, hey, how do I kind of govern my backswing? How do I kind of learn how to govern my backswing? That's a big deal for you too. Okay? So governing a backswing, guys, isn't about you just deciding to go, okay, I'm going to stop here and then change direction. Watch how I really govern a backswing. What's really governing my backswing, guys?
Feet.
Thank you. Feet. how I use the ground and change my pressure. Here's my fish swimming through beautiful Lake Tahoe. Okay, I can govern it late, a little different, sling it up a little higher, make it a little longer, a little stronger, or I can govern my backswing with a smart ball. Okay, as we can put that miserable little training aid in there between our forms. May I grab that miserable? No, I don't even need a lanyard.
It's a vintage one.
This is vintage. Look at this thing. Back in the day. So, you know, this goes back right here. Okay, so I can go. All right, I'm going to govern a variety of swing lengths. So watch the footwork, guys. Well, it came out because I let it out. Okay, watch again. Sorry, I'll hold on longer. Watch the black ball. Watch the bouncing ball. Tell me when this black ball comes out of my arms. I won't let it go that early this time. Has the ball fallen out yet? Okay, and it won't. Because as soon as it does, what do I start to do with my wrist conditions, guys? Chicken wing. Okay, so quite often we've changed our tune now because one of my awesome coaches, Al Geiberger's son, Brian, said, hey, this is cool, coach. For a lot of those folks that have really long backswings, we just loop this around their Johnson. I'm kidding, just behind their belt will just be fine. Okay, and now that would really manage your backswing length. Well, no, okay. Okay, so here's a little governed swing on both sides. Okay, so I can make this little swing.
Because you're hanging on and you're not over. You have to make sure.
Yeah, so I can hit this little shot. Right? Did I have to go?
No.
Right, no. Okay. So we're going to have some fun exploring. So what's cool about golf camp is I need you to internalize what we teach you to make it your own. But I do need you to ask questions. So one of your questions are you. So now watch my head. You ready for this, Darcy?
Yeah.
Watch real close. Watch my head. Okay? Watch me raise up. You ready? Okay, watch this. Did I raise up?
No.
Why'd I top it? Is this when a computer blows up and smoke comes out of its... Why did I top it if I didn't raise up, Darcy? You don't have to know the answer, and sorry to put you on the spot.
I actually don't know. 'Cause I've
Okay.
been golfing for 4 years.
No, but that's okay. But see, people that have golfed for 30 years don't have the answer.
Aha.
Okay, so here's my point. I'm always coming up. Let me explain. Come on up here for a second. Stand right here, right there and face me. Rest your hand on my hand, please. Perfect. Lovely manicure, by the way. Okay, so watch how I can create speed with a golf club. It's going back and forth. When it's in a state of fall, do you see how the handle comes up?
Kind of like on a swing set.
Okay, yeah, this is exactly like a swing set. How we manipulate our momentum on a swing. So see how when a club's in a state of fall, you guys, I have an opportunity to bend. It's called parametric acceleration. I have an opportunity. That's this fancy word I'll use all day, I promise. This is a handle going up. Now watch the goodness here, okay? So this same thing happens. Now if you put your hand on my shoulder, the same thing happens, okay? You gotta need a really long arm to do that, but that's okay. You can just watch. So a really good player, guys, has this element of so that the bottom doesn't just go crash. So the bottom kind of levels for a little bit, and you get kind of like a little flat spot. So Mo Norman's divots were very bacon strip instead of pork chop. There's kind of a flat spot at the bottom because the shoulder. Mo Norman, not Mud. Yeah, Mo. Canadian famous guy that was a friend of mine when I was a kid. So, shoulder has this element of it's going up significantly as a club is traveling down. And that's an accelerator. Now what you guys are going to learn how to do, and maybe I can explain that to you, or maybe you kind of have these little, hey, I feel this. Hey, coach, excellent, way to go, I'm glad you feel that. Now when you watch these little shots, every one of these guys, when we do this little Rockettes event, you walk in and you get perpendicular to the ball and you tip over and your paired hands aim the face, you take a look, you set your feet, you take a look, a couple of waggles. Is my club on the ground, guys?
No.
It's never on the ground, ever. Ever, ever, ever. It's never on the ground.
It's always on the ground.
It's never on the ground. You're going to hate this today. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay. Going to hate it.
That's why we're here.
I get you, but you're going to hate it because it's different. Here is the house, the triangle of the arms and the good hands and the structured lead arm and the soft right arm. And I can tip over and I can tap the grass, tap, tap. Aim the face, take a look. Settle the feet, take a look. Waggle, waggle, okay? Now the club's still not on the ground. It'll be on the ground in a second. There, it's on the ground. And then we're done. I want the club coming into your hands on every single swing you take. Hit the shot, whew, rebound, holster. Because you'll really realize, guys, that there'll be a lot of this on dragging a ball with hands on a grip, okay? Every time, shoo, rebound, put it away. Okay? One final story before we get started. Adam Oates. Anybody know who he is? Adam Oates, NHL Hall of Famer. Red Wings, Rangers, St. Louis. Calls my buddy up. My buddy called me at the end of the day. He's like, you're not going to believe this. You know Adam Oates because I'm a hockey junkie. You know who he is too. Ranger, right? Yeah. He goes, Adam Oates called me, scratch golfer. Wanted to take a lesson on how to twirl the club. Coach goes, pardon me? Yeah, no, I want to learn how to twirl the club like the pros, like Tiger. He goes, first time he didn't know the coach, just called him up. He was Mike Weir's coach at the time. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I noticed all these really good players hit this shot. They stand there and they go, and when it's really good. And he goes, I think if I can kind of forecast that feeling, my outcomes will be better. Genius. See my point?
Yeah.
This is how smart this guy was.
Mental.
Forecasting goodness,
Yeah.
spinning a club and putting it away rather than going off. You know what I mean? Isn't that better?
Because my awe is usually not putting it away.
Right? So can you imagine beginning with the end in mind for this goodness? Like taking a swing. You think you topped it if you did that? Probably not. Probably pretty good. So you kind of got to begin with that mindset that it's pretty good. Or you can be terrified.
Pretty deliberate too.
What's that?
It's pretty deliberate.
Well, the better it is, the more you pop it in there.
No, but I mean the recoil part.
Yeah, oh, it is. Because you don't want to necessarily stand there and like, oh, I don't want to do that. This is a stretch, okay? Counter rotation. Once the ball's gone, can you change where the ball's going to go? Of course not. Okay, but so then this thing's traveling with a ton of momentum in it, and then it recoils a bit, and then we put it away, and then the shot's over. Good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, the shot's over. Hands off. Let's do the routine again. Like if you guys learn this routine stuff as like good athletes, newer golfers developing, like massive ceiling for you guys. Pretty good golfers just need a little tune-up over here. Okay, see my point? Little inspiration to kind of tweak a few things. So what I'm going to do is we got some cool videos of you guys. I got to get you to share those, or did you already do it?
No, I need to.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to get the videos we took, talk about your numbers. I'll have a one-on-one with you guys in the office over in one of the golf carts, okay? And then Coach G is going to just kind of walk you through the cadence of walking into a golf ball, hitting what we call a cornerstone shot. So let's see. First one, the right basket. Let's go. Got to be one and done here. Intermediate target. Waggle, waggle. Beginning with the end in mind, which is right here. Thank you for coming.
I watched the magic show last night. It was just like that.
How'd I do yesterday, Coach?
You hopped it in.
I hopped it in. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not that good. I mean, I used to be pretty good. But you get my point, guys? Like, it's like, you guys, like, I expect to hit it sort of around there. You know, it just happened to go in there. You know, so.
Wasn't any recoil or put it in the holster?
I was surprised, actually. Yeah, I was surprised I did it. So watch this. If I finished here, I can't really put it in the holster from there. Guess where I have to put it in the holster? So if you go a little under and there's no place to go, you got to go up to holster it. If you swing past yourself, You got to rebound to holster it.
Right.
Start to see the rhythm of that? Okay, I was just so excited I made it. All right, guys, let's have some fun. You're first, my dear.